Manchester United won, Fulham won, but Fulham knock us out on penalties, and I'm ill. To watch extra time of that match was not fun, although we did get better as the match went on, but oh my god, the first 60 minutes of that match, until probably the first 80 minutes of that match, was a snooze fest, and then, yeah, we lose on penalties. Man United have made me miserable today. I'm also ill. I also look incredibly rough. Yeah, not a good day for me, because I really wanted to win the FA Cup. If you've been watching my live streams, I said I'll be gutted if we get out the FA Cup. It's better than the league for me. For me, it's just stay in the league, don't get relegated, do something FA Cup. Now we've got Europa. I'm not confident we beat Sociedad. We don't have a good record against the Spanish teams, but the FA Cup gives you something for the rest of the season. We'd have played Palace in the next round, assuming we beat Fulham. And it just gives you that bit of something. Do you know what I mean? It gives you that bit of hope of, oh, we could win silver at the end of the season. We're not going to get in Europe next season unless we win a trophy, because, and if we win the FA Cup, oh, we're back in Europa next season. Now we've basically got to win Europa League when we're not consistent enough. We don't have the best record in Europe. Yes, we haven't lost a lot of games, but we also don't win a lot of games. We don't have a good record against Spanish sides. It's like, at least being in the FA Cup keeps the season going a bit. Because if we go out Europa League next week, the season is just done, and it's just meh to the rest of the season. And it's like the season's done anyway, but at least you have something to keep you in it and stuff. And so I'm gutted. I'm really gutted, because I really wanted to win the FA Cup this year. Like, honestly, when you have a crap season like this, being in the FA Cup can just make such a difference. Win a trophy. And I think the way we went out was frustrating, because if we had better options on the bench, if we'd have maybe done a bit more earlier on, I think we could have won that game. I feel like in extra time we had almost little chances to win the game, but we don't have the quality. I think Garnacho's good. He takes on players, he runs at people and makes things happen. He brings that intensity, but he is a bit wasteful. He is a bit selfish. Casemiro's playing not pass to Obi and shoot and put an awful pass in when Obi was there. I don't think Casemiro had the best game, but I do think Obi did well. I thought he did a lot better than Hojlund. I'm going to talk about that in more detail later. But yeah, I just don't think we did enough to win it in normal time. I think we did enough to win it in normal time, but we didn't have that quality, is what I meant. There wasn't enough people on the bench. You've got to look at Ineos, the lack of backing for Ruben Amorim, in the January window. Obviously, we massively missed someone like Dorgu today, someone that would give us a bit more attacking threat from wing back, because Delot's good in terms of getting into dangerous positions, and I think he did get the assist for Bruno today. But Delot makes so many wasteful crosses. Delot gets into good areas. Delot provides a threat, but he doesn't have the final ball, if that makes sense. He can get up the pitch, he can dribble, he can get past his man, he can get in a really good crossing area, and I get that he's on his left foot, but he very rarely puts a good cross in. Why is Lindelof taking a penalty or playing for his club in 2025? He should have been sold 2 summers ago, but basically every single window he's been injured, and now he's just sitting here running down his contract. He's going to leave for free. He doesn't play very well for us. He's injured whenever the transfer window is open. Why was he taking a penalty? Garnacho should have took that penalty, and Zirkzee should have taken a penalty. I know Zirkzee missed his, but why is Lindelof taking a penalty? It was a crap penalty, and I knew when Lindelof stepped up, I knew he was going to miss. Lindelof did not look confident, and that was the annoying thing. But let me give you my general thoughts on the match, and then I'm going to talk about Zirkzee, because I thought he had a good game bar the penalty. I'm going to talk about De Ligt, because I thought he had a really good game. I'm going to talk about Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to talk about Chido, because I think there were positives. We managed to score. I think we had the better chances, as Amorim said, and there were positives, but there was still a lot the same. It still wasn't super convincing, and we're gonna have to have a conversation about Hojlund again. Do you know what's annoying is I really want Hojlund to do well. And it's just like every time he touches the ball, it's like it goes wrong for him, and I'm struggling, because I want Hojlund to succeed, and it is really hard to get behind him, especially when Chido is creating chances for himself. But let me give my general thoughts on the match. So, same United, same kind of problems, out of attacking ideas, feels like we won't have a score unless Bruno does something, we get a set piece. When Chido came on, I felt that there was a bit more presence in attack, and I felt that he was trying to create chances himself, which is something we're going to talk about in a second. But it does feel like we don't create chances. It's set piece, one of our centre-backs scores, or Bruno does something. I thought De Ligt was a monster in defence, running through cramp. I thought he did brilliant. I thought Euro did well, but I think he picked up an injury. It's why he came off, because why is Lindelof coming on? Bruno had a good game, constantly trying to make a difference. I also want to say Aiden Heaven, I thought he was really good when he came on. Maguire comes off, Aiden Heaven came on, and he didn't put a foot wrong. So well done, Aiden Heaven. Maybe Ruben Amorim put more trust in him, because I'd rather see Heaven play than Lindelof play. Zirkzee had some nice touches, clearly the most intelligent attacking player, holding up the ball, playing touches, retaining the ball in the final third, playing players in, looking to pass to Chido. I like his relationship with Chido. Zirkzee ran his heart out. I hope people stop calling him lazy. I thought he did well. I thought Chido got into better positions than Hojlund. Hojlund's, Chido's still not fully ready, but he did more than Rasmus. He offered more than Rasmus, and it's getting harder to defend Hojlund. Ruben Amorim's probably seen enough of Hojlund and to say, look what Chido's done in those 40 minutes. It took Chido 15 minutes to grow into the game, but he started creating chances for himself. I wouldn't be shocked if he starts Chido next game over Hojlund. I would not be shocked. Was it a boring game? Absolutely. Would I like to see more youth? Yes. The way I look at it is what we're doing isn't working. We're Hojlund's 18 games without goal. It's not working. We're starting him 18 games in a row without goal. Yeah, just bring more youth in. Maybe have a Morehouse or a Fletcher on the bench to play in that 10 role. Chido to integrate him more, because I think we've seen with Chido, yes, he's not ready, yes, he's raw, but he's still offering more than Rasmus, and the youth players can still offer stuff. You could even try going actually at wing back with Dorgu out if you need more attacking threat. I think Ruben Amorim needs to make more changes and more risks, in my opinion. I want to give a shout out to Bruno, De Ligt, and Zirkzee gave everything today. They stepped up, they showed the experience, and I think they deserved to get through to the next round. So it's disappointing we didn't. Obviously, Zirkzee did miss the penalty, but all-round performance was good. But as Adam said here, Bruno Fernandes is having to drop so deep defensively. De Ligt is struggling now, cramping, then working back in attack to create that chance for Obi. His work rate and endurance after 100 minutes of football is nuts. Bruno ran his socks off today. People still call him the problem. Honestly, least of our problems at Manchester United. But I want to talk about Chido because he's making it hard to defend Hojlund. And I think Amorim would have seen enough of Hojlund just from this. I've already made some nice touches when the ball was played into his feet. There was one that wasn't a good touch, but the ball was slammed into him and he knew nothing about that. But I thought his touches was better than Hojlund. And this isn't me having to dig at Hojlund. I want Hojlund to succeed. I backed Hojlund in his first season, and I still believe Hojlund will be a good player. But the ball going to Hojlund's feet and then it goes a mile away from him. The ball just landed on Obi's feet like 2 or 3 times really well. He pushed off Bassi there, was winning his duels. Even a small thing in extra time, like winning the foul from when we were defending the corner from Bassi. He's making it harder to defend Hojlund because he gave the Fulham centre-backs more to do than Hojlund today. And he's actively seeking out chances, pressing, moving well, and trying to win second balls. I get we don't create chances for Hojlund. I get we didn't pass the ball a lot to Obi. It took us 20 minutes to actually pass the ball to him. But he's actively seeking out chances. No one's passing the ball. No one's getting it to him. But he's actively seeking out chances for himself. And he had 3 chances today. One where maybe if he went down, he scores a penalty. Another which was right at the end, which was a tough angle, and that one where he forced a good save. He created that just from the instincts. I think he's got the instincts. I think he's got the movement, and he's showing stuff that I think the goals will come. He looks more like scoring than Rasmus at the moment. His touch is better. He's holding off defenders better. He's giving other teams, defenders more to think about. He's playing in the hardest role at United. He's 17 years of age. He's playing striker at United. I think the hardest position in the Premier League is striker for a Southampton or a Manchester United right now, being honest, because we know that we create some of the least amount of chances for our striker. And I thought he showed something. He maybe could have won a penalty on another day. I thought he used his body well. I thought he had instincts. Hojlund's waiting for chances to come to him. Chido's like, I can't do that. They're not going to bring chances to me. He was trying to create chances for himself. And I want to read out what Statman Dave's put on Twitter, and I want to give Chido a shout out here because, look, he's still raw. There's still elements of his game that need to develop, but he's 17. He's not the answer. We need a striker in the summer, and he's not going to be the answer for a couple more years. But you can just see, in general, there's something there to build upon, someone there to mould in for the future. Let me zoom in more here, actually, because you probably can't see that. But this was said by Statman Dave. Obi had 3 big chances in 52 minutes today. For comparison, Hojlund's had 3 big chances in 22 Premier League matches. And I wouldn't call them big chances, but he created chances for himself out of nothing. He created more for himself than Hojlund. And I think some of it is down to Hojlund's movement isn't good enough. I defend Hojlund because he doesn't have much greater for him, but Chido is creating more for himself, and that's a part of Hojlund's game he needs to improve. If you look at this here as well, 3 shots, 3 big chances, 4 successful passes, 17 touches, 100% successful take-ons. He used his body well. He did quite good. And people say 3 big chances he didn't score, but they weren't big chances. None of them were easy goals to score. None of them was oh, that's a tap-in, He did well. And I was impressed with Chido's performance. And actually, going into more detail, I saw these 2 tweets. Leaz says here, defenders have a harder time handling Chido than Hojlund. Enough proof suggests that now. Chido's game is unbelievably raw and a lot of work to do, but at least he occupies and disrupts the back 4. And that's very true. Wayne Rooney even said, what I like is he's put himself in some good positions. I've been really impressed by him. He looked like he's could go on and nick it. Hojlund never looked like scoring today, but Chido didn't, and that's worrying. And I've seen enough of Hojlund. I think Amorim's seen enough of Hojlund, and I think we could see more Chido. I want to get through this quickly, but Zirkzee did impress me. I think he doesn't have the extra yard of pace, which sometimes I wish that he had it because he's a bit slow. But he uses his body well. His movement was good. His touches was good. He was good in the final third. He's looking out for Chido like a mentor. He's responded to certain fans booing him out rather than supporting him. Zirkzee comes into Manchester United, a really crap Man United side, unsustainable system, is utilised wrong and misprofiled by Ten Hag. Is given 3 months and booed out the club, which is ridiculous as a young kid playing striker in an unsustainable Man United system that isn't being profiled correctly. We're starting to see the more and more Zirkzee plays, the more and more he grows into the game. He's not lazy. Yes, I wish he was quicker, but he had nice touches, nutmegs, was involving Chido, involving like other players in play. Our attacking play, he's our most intelligent player. Some of the passes he's picked out, when he gets the ball, just to touch to control it and keep the ball, not give it away, where we've seen Hojlund touch it away, or maybe a Garnacho give it away. He's more intelligent. He's not selfish. He's intelligent. He's aware. He uses his body well, and he worked his socks off today. So I was really impressed with that Joshua Zirkzee performance. Let me know your thoughts down below, people. Just thank you everyone for watching today's video. I feel rough, but I'm going to give a shout out to De Ligt. 6 out of 6 tackles won for De Ligt today. Monster performance, because I'm hoping there's nothing wrong with Maguire and Uri, because we're very thin in attack, so if we're very thin in defence, that doesn't help. But I also thought, shout out to De Ligt. He did unbelievably well and stepped up. Bye.